Behind the Roar, the official podcast of West Tigers.
I'd like to welcome today the West Tigers supporters and members to a special podcast. I welcome today Julie Romero, the chairperson of the Holman Barnes Group. Obviously, most people know Simon is the CEO of the Holman Barnes Group. Barry O'Farrell, our chair, and obviously myself. Today's all about what I've spoken about all year and all the time, is that, you know, we will always talk to you directly first if there's a challenge or something a point we want to get across. Today is all about us sensibly sitting down and just outlining that most of the stuff nearly all the stuff that's written in the media is just not true. We haven't given it credence by responding to it because that's what they want. As soon as you put a West Tigers a logo up behind anybody, it'll sell newspapers, it'll be clickbait, and we don't want to give them any extra opportunities because what they're saying is incorrect and not true. So today is all about trying to get those points across to you and for you to face to meet the people who are making the decisions around the club. So first of all, I'd like to introduce the chair of the Holman Barnes Group, Julie. Welcome to the West Tigers bench today, and I'll just hand it over for you to have say a couple of words.
Oh, well, hello to our West Tigers supporters, and I suppose from my part, I'm just really sorry that you guys have had to tolerate all this unnecessary talk that's floating around, and hopefully today the four of us can put you onto the good path, because 2025, you can just feel the excitement in the air. Like Richo and the crew here have done such a fabulous job in getting us a team that we're all going to be very proud of, and there's been so much behind the scenes work that we will share with you today so that you'll see that it's not just on the field where we're going to improve, but it's our back office as well. So hopefully we can put some minds at rest and you'll see that we are one big happy family, contrary to what a lot of people are trying to tell you.
Yeah, across to Simon. Simon, you've been here a long while now, so you've been through it all. So great for you to give us a bit your thoughts on where we're at.
Yeah, look, Richard, I'm just here to talk mainly about what the primary role from Holman Barnes Group is with West Tigers, and that's as their financier. Over the last while, we've been the major financier for West Tigers. Over the last year, we've continued to do that. In fact, we've increased our support from a financial perspective to West Tigers this year because it's been a necessity for us. We're also got a larger football family, and that's the West Magpies and the Balmain Tigers, and we're the major contributors to both those organisations. And just in the past year, we've helped through the hard work of Leo and his crew at West Magpies. They've been able to secure a grant at Lidcombe Oval where they're doing a fantastic job, and we've guaranteed some money for that, a large amount of money for that. With the Balmain Tigers, we've also contributed to them being able to get a brand new gym at Leichhardt Oval number 2, so their junior reps have got an up-to-date gymnasium that they'll be able to use. We also support a lot of the other football teams in the inner west area, and we're thankful to West Macarthur for what they do out in the western suburbs. And from what you've told me, Richo, they've increased their grant for the juniors out there. So Holman Barnes Group's major connection with West Tigers and major primary objective with West Tigers is ensuring that they are financially secure. And Holman Barnes Group are in a very strong financial position, and so they're able to help out a lot of those entities, and we'll continue to do so, and we'll continue to do so into the future. And so what I can assure all of the West Tigers fans and all of the rugby league fans within this family is that when it comes to finances, all of those groups want for nothing, and will continue to want for nothing.
Thanks, Simon. Barry?
Thanks, Shane, and it's great to be able to talk to members directly about these issues. And can I just add something to what Simon has just said, and that is that the strategic plan that the West Tigers board put in place earlier last year, and which was shared with all members, makes it clear that we're plotting a track towards profitability for the club. And under Shane's guidance, we're getting there quicker than we perhaps expected. And that's an important thing, because as someone who's been in another area of governance, unless you've got a solid bottom line, there's no future for the entity. For me, the Holman Barnes Commission report by Tony Crawford and Gary Barnia was groundbreaking, and it was described as such at the time. And importantly, it made a recommendation that for the first time, the West Tigers board would have a majority of independent directors. And as much as I loved being chair of the club in 2018, and as much as I loved being interim chair for the last 12 months, I wouldn't have taken on the interim chair's role if I wasn't convinced that the report was to be implemented. And I'm delighted that over the last couple of months, with the help of independent advisors, that process is continuing, and we expect to see that board in place later this month.
Thanks, Barry. Yeah, look, I think it's really important to say this. When this report was put to the Holman Barnes board, the same 7 people were on the Holman Barnes board, and every one of them voted unanimously for the report to be processed. That has never changed. So no matter what innuendo and what people might say and talk about, I'm telling you that's the fact. So if that's a fact, this year, whether there might have been changes, they get to choose what people they put on for the representative board, which they should do, they have the right to. But I can assure you that at those board meetings with the previous directors or the current directors, we have never once had any recommendation from this club that has been rejected, nor importantly, everyone has been unanimously supported. Unanimously. So for people to say there's any sort of challenges to the governance of West Tigers is just sheer and utter pettiness and ridiculous statements. Because I'm telling you, I wouldn't be involved with any organisation that didn't bring in the correct corporate governance that Holman Barnes Group have brought in here. I've had no challenges whatsoever working with Julie and her team, and Simon obviously has been a great background to us. But across the board, we have put into place a strategic plan which was unanimously approved. We are 95% of the way through that plan. The only thing still to happen is the appointment of independent directors. If I had doubt that it was going to happen, I'd be telling you. I have no doubt it's going to happen. And in fact, I know from the recruiters that will happen this month, and with Julie's backup and support all the way through it. We also put a budget in, which was put to the Holman Barnes board, because at the end of the day, the Holman Barnes board, this club wouldn't have survived without them, and they are the bankers and financiers of this group. And at no stage have they rejected anything. In fact, they've constantly asked, is it enough? Can we give you more? And once again, I don't BS, so it's just a fact of the matter. And the final part of what we're trying to do now was put a football team on the paddock, which has been to compete at the highest levels. Now, at no stage has anybody interfered one iota with Benji or I about what that team should look like or should be like, or what the coaching staff should look like or be like. It has been nothing but a pleasure to have the governance controls that we've had as a club here to get the job done. And at the end of the day, Julie's been a supporter of West Tigers forever, as a little girl, from Simon as well, and most of the other board members too. All they want is us to be successful on the paddock, and they've done absolutely nothing to step back from that. If and when that may have happened, I don't believe it ever will, but if it did, I'd tell you first. Because at the end of the day, we cannot be successful by not pulling all in the same direction. And I'm just telling you, we are pulling in the same direction. And, the clickbait and rubbish that's written in the paper is not about the West Tigers itself. It's about people pushing their own barrows and their own information in the press. And we're not going to respond to it, as we haven't throughout the year. So I want to thank both Julie and Simon for coming in today, and of course the Chair, Barry. I look forward to the appointment of independent directors. But most importantly, guys, let's have a bit of fun, eh? We've had a tough year getting to where we got to. We've had to work our backsides off and to get this team put together. They want to win. They want to be out front. We've completed all of our corporate sponsorship sales for all the jersey, pants and everything else. It's nothing but a success story. We've already written more dollars in membership than we did the whole of last year. So we're hardly a club that's on the wane. We're a club on the up. But the most important thing for everybody, just enjoy the ride. It's too hard otherwise. Thank you.
Behind the Law, the official podcast of West Tigers.